Konnichiwa, hello, my name is Mickey and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be testing out a lot of drugstore makeup. I believe everything is under like $12 here. I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to do like a long wear test because it is already almost, it's already 2 o'clock. So we're going to see how much time we have. So a little disclaimer before we get into the video, if you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. I am a no filter bitch, so I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth. So keep that in mind while you're watching. All right, so if you guys are interested in seeing some new drugstore makeup from 2019, then just stay tuned. All right, so as usual, before we get into the video, just a little update on what the hell is going on. I know I look like pure shit. Not only is Aunt Flo here to visit, which is why I am like breaking out all over the damn place. My eyebrows don't want to cooperate today, so I have one really fat eyebrow and one really good looking eyebrow. So excuse the brows. I have just been so fucking stressed lately, like, so if I'm a little bit off, I apologize. It's just I'm really fucking tired. If you couldn't tell, I have not been sleeping more than 3 or 4 hours a day for like the last week. There's been a lot going on in this household, but for now we're just gonna dive right into these drugstore makeups. Now I have super moisturized the shit out of my face because I have a matte foundation we're gonna be trying today. First, we're gonna go in with the Poreless Putty Primer from e.l.f. Now this retails for $8. This was such a bitch to get, you guys, not only because it was out of stock all the time, but when I went to Ulta, it said on the Ulta website that it was available. For some reason, they just decided not to put it on the shelves. And so when I went in, they were like, oh, we don't have that yet. And I'm like, y'all lie. Anyways, I was able to get it. Now, I have tried the Tatcha primer before. Actually, I have a sample of it right here. And I really like the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer, except the fact that I don't really feel like it fills in my pores, but it definitely blurs. And I love the fact that it actually feels like my face is a little bit more moisturized when I put it on, especially under my eye area. I am really interested to see what is all the hype about this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig into this if I can. I don't know, do I just like, oh, okay. I just put a little bit of pressure on there and I got some. I'm just going to be applying this on my nose, kind of on my under eye area, and just let it sit for a couple of seconds. This feels a little bit more greasier than the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer because I don't know, that one just kind of like melts into your skin. This one is making my fingers have a greasy residue, which I'm not really that big of a fan. On my face, it doesn't feel greasy, but on my hands, it does. So that's weird. I don't know, maybe my face is like just absorbing the primer right now. I feel like this is really hydrating. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this all over my face. This part where I put the primer already has kind of dried down and it's a little tacky, which I definitely like because that means your foundation's gonna stick better to it. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do my eyes first because I've been having a lot of fallout problems lately with certain eyeshadows and I just don't want to risk it. So I'm gonna go in with the NYX Ultimate Edit Petite palette. This is in warm neutrals. I just really like the shades in this palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually swatch each one. As far as I can tell, these are pretty pigmented in my eyes, so we're gonna go ahead and start with that. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is $6.99, which I think isn't a really bad deal, especially for these pretty 6 shades. I am just going to take the lightest shade here, and I'm gonna pop that all over my lid. Okay, that ain't bad. That's not bad at all. So far, that shade definitely blended out nicely. Now I am going to take this warm brown, I don't even know, is that a brown? It's like a terracotta type of color. I'm gonna go over the color that I just did, kind of deepen up the crease, if you will. You kind of gotta sit here and really blend these out, but so far I am really liking the pigmentation. Like when you pick it up on your brush, there's not too much, but it's so easily buildable. I'm really liking that. I'm gonna take this reddish brown. I'm saying reddish because on the swatch it looks kind of like a brick color, like between red and brown. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna deepen up my lid / crease area just a smidge more. My eyes are also kind of differently shaped today because this one is a little bit more swollen than this guy over here. So you're gonna notice one is a little bit higher than the other for the eyeshadow, and I just gotta do my best to even it out. Blending is definitely key. Now with any eyeshadow, of course, blending is key, but with these mattes, you're gonna have to take a little bit more time than usual to blend them out. You know, some other eyeshadows eyeshadows, they're just so easily blendable that you can just sit there for like a couple of seconds, blend it out, and boom, you're done. With this one, you do have to put a little bit more effort, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. For some reason, they're like two slightly different shades, so I don't know what the hell's going on there. But we are gonna move on. I think I'm gonna take the dark brown shade down here, and I'm gonna put that kind of on the outer area. Oof, okay, I don't know if it's the damn brush or what, but this brown shade does not want to blend. Not really liking that dark brown shade there. It's okay though, we're just gonna keep going because we've already gotten this far. Patchy, patchy. I don't know why this particular brown shade is so freaking tough to blend on top of the other mattes. Hopefully one of these shimmers can bring it back home because this is looking hot mess right now. I'm gonna go in with this really pretty shade right here. It's kind of, it doesn't look anything on the pan like it does on the swatch. It's actually this metallic shade right here. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in the middle. I'm just gonna use my finger. Hopefully we get some results here because this be looking very muddy and patchy with that brown. I think we're gonna have to do the whole wet the brush method. Oh yeah, I feel like I'm not really getting any on, am I getting any on the brush here? Like, what's going on? Let me go ahead and try a shader brush. Maybe we can get more of this. So for this particular palette for the shimmers, I would advise using one of these fluffy shader brushes. It's definitely looking a lot better. It's just not as like shimmery and shiny as I would like it to be. That brown just really fucked up all, like the whole thing. This bit right here is just done with this palette. I can't with that brown shade anymore, so we're gonna go ahead and move along. Next is definitely foundation. I have the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation Stick right here. This actually retails online on their website for $9.99, but if you go to Walmart, you can get it for $9, so that kind of saves you like $1. This comes in 20 shades. It says our full coverage creamy foundation stick blends seamlessly to cover imperfections and even skin tone. I'm all about that. The weightless stick delivers a natural matte finish that lasts up to 12 hours. The transfer and water resistant formula contains bamboo powder to absorb oil and lily extract to lighten the look of pores. I have noticed significantly that right in this area, the pores are almost like, almost invisible. Right here, maybe I didn't put enough of the poreless putty primer, but right here, it is like blurred the fuck out. I'm gonna bust back into the e.l.f. primer and I'm just gonna add some more where I am still porous as hell. One thing I am definitely scared about this is that it is a matte finish, and we all know how I feel about matte. I really don't like it because I am a dry, crusty girl, and matte foundations just do not work very well on dry skin. For the product amount, I only have 2 stick foundations here. One is my absolute favorite, one I absolutely despise. The ColourPop No Filter Sticks is the one I can't fucking stand it. This has 0.34 ounces, and the Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation, this is one of my favorite foundations. This one has 0.21 ounce, and then the Milani one has 0.46 ounces. So this has way more product than both of these. For my foundation reviews, I like to use a flat top kabuki brush on one side of my face, and I like to use a sponge on the other side. Now, my Juno & Co sponge, the microfiber sponge, is just, it's done. So I'm going to be using the Real Technique sponge on this side, and then on this side, I'm going to be using my angled kabuki brush because my flat top just needs a good little washing. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the face. I feel like this is one of those ones, because it is a matte foundation, might have to work quickly. I don't know, we'll see. That is, it smells like plastic. I know y'all can see my little freaking friend hitching a ride over here, so we're gonna see just how well it covers that. We're gonna go ahead and add some more here. I know it looks like I'm adding a lot, but the brush took away a lot of the coverage. Once it warms up to your skin, it's really easy to blend out. It is clinging just a tiny smidge to my dry patches. Of course, I will zoom you guys in after I'm done applying on both sides. Now we're gonna go on this side and we're gonna try the Real Techniques. I don't like using sponges for stick foundations because I feel like it tugs a lot more, especially for matte foundations. For some reason, matte foundations, because they're a lot more dry, whenever you use a sponge, you start tugging on your skin. I don't like that because that equals what? Wrinkles. I'm just gonna try the pouncing method. I don't really want to do the whole like dragging because again, wrinkles. I feel like I'm beating the shit out of my face right now just to get this to kind of like move. I do like this coverage better than the sponge coverage, but I like the way the foundation looks with the sponge application as opposed to the brush application, because this side I will say is looking just a smidge cakey. Just to see if the sponge will add more coverage, I'm gonna go ahead and add more foundation to this side. Now with this foundation, I am finding that I am definitely having to add a lot more foundation than my Makeup Revolution one. This is definitely buildable, and I am surprised to say for the first time, out of all the 3 stick foundations that I have, ooh, such a big collection, this is the only stick foundation that I actually enjoy applying with a sponge, because I'm not sitting here pulling and tugging on my skin. The sponge side looks way better than the brush side, so I'm gonna go over the brush side with the sponge. This is definitely, in my opinion, sponge application worthy. I'm gonna go ahead and do the middle of my head. This is where all the texture, all the dryness is. Also, this is where I have like the most creasing because of my little frown lines. I always get 2 creases right there. I have another little demon hitching a ride here, so I'm gonna try to add more coverage. So let's go ahead and zoom you guys in so you guys can see a little bit of the texture and a little bit of the dryness that's going on. Hopefully the camera is picking this up and you guys can get a better look at this muddy mess of an eyeshadow. Here on my forehead, I am very, very textured, and that is the driest spot. If I look at an angle, you can kind of see where the dryness is, especially above my brow right here. I have a lot of dryness. You can see these 2 little marks and my little demon friend, so I would not call this full coverage. I would say though that this is very high medium coverage. Around my nose is not looking too bad. It looks just a smidge cakey on the creases of the nose, but I feel like that's okay. Hopefully it gets better throughout the day. Right here, my healing demon friend is very dry, so you can see it clinging to the dry patches around it. I'm like in between with this right now because it is clinging to dry patches, but it looks really nice on the skin. I'm going to go ahead and touch my face, and let's just pray that this is actually, you know, transfer proof, because I feel like it's been on my face long enough. Oh, that is definitely not transfer proof, girl. Look at all that foundation on my fingers and look at the marks it left on my face. Maybe if you set it, but if you set it, then that would completely defeat the purpose of it being called transfer proof. You know what I'm saying? I can already tell it's gonna be kind of a lengthy video, so I apologize in advance. It's just, I did not think I was gonna have that much trouble with my eyes, you know? Now that the foundation has kind of settled into my skin, I feel like it is a pretty decent shade match, especially once we add a little bit more color to the face. Now, the one thing I don't like about this is the packaging. Something I noticed is, as you can see, it is rolled all the way down. I'm gonna put the cap on. Now, when you put the cap on, you can kind of twist the bottom. So when I open it, it's up. So now I could possibly get, like, you know, the foundation in the top of the cap. Not really liking that. Now we're finally gonna go into this guy that I have been waiting to use. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. Now this is in the shade 100 Pure Ivory, and this was the lightest shade. This claims that it is a creamy, full coverage, water resistant makeup that instantly conceals and lasts up to 12 hours. Perfect for concealing under eye circles, blemishes, and skin discoloration. Formula contains vitamin E to help replenish skin's moisture and is available in 18 shades. This concealer on Milani's website retails for $8.99. At Walmart, I got it for about $8. I don't know why, but Walmart is always $1 cheaper. Who knows why? We're just gonna go ahead and apply this. Now I'm just gonna do what? Woo! That is very creamy, like it's almost very wet. I'm just gonna go ahead and add that because I don't know how far this concealer is gonna go. I've mentioned this before, I'm an insomniac, I don't get much sleep, so I actually get sunken eyes rather than poofy eyes or dark circles. I don't know, it just happens. But I do have to say, this is definitely brightening my under eyes. There's still a little bit of stuff peeking through, if you know what I mean. But I definitely love the blendability of this. All right, let me see if I can add a smidge more. Now this stuff is so liquidy. Oh, girl, I really like this concealer. Look at that. It is definitely brightening everything up. It still has a very luminous glow. It's not like super matte. Maybe this might work to cover up some of my little problem areas because this feels also very moisturizing. Before I do this side, I want to try this out on my chin, see if we can get some moisture going on in here. It does help a little bit, which I'm really surprised about. I just really hate this freaking chin crease. I don't even know what the hell that is, but everything just gathers in there. You know, some people, they have like the butt chin. I have like a horizontal butt chin, kind of. It's kind of strange. The one thing about this is I am really having to take off, like, look how much, can you guys see that? That's all the extra concealer I'm having to take off of this brush. So let's go ahead and do the triangle method on this one and see. I feel like with this concealer too, you can really control the coverage that you're getting, because if you want more, like I did over here, you can add more. Ooh, your girl's nose is looking porous as fuck though. I don't know if it's because I added a little bit of the concealer or what. Ooh, I'm really liking this concealer, girl. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit on the forehead. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, bitch. Wow. That just like instantly fixed my forehead. This might be my new best friend. I mean, obviously I'm gonna have to try it out with other foundations because I'm putting Milani concealer with Milani foundation. I would hope that they work in conjunction together. But your girl does not have many dry patches on her forehead anymore. I'm looking those. Oh, you know, dry patches. Now, this area right here, you could tell before that when I kind of moved my head like this or like this, you can tell that it was very, very dry. But for some reason, that concealer like added like a little bit of moisture to my forehead area. There is still a lot of texture there. I'm pretty sure you can see from this far how porous my nose is. Like, it's looking really gross and really potholey. I can even see it in the monitor, so I know you guys can see the holes on my nose. My smile lines look okay. They're starting to kind of, I don't know, like gather, I guess. But the concealer, that's what we're here to talk about. And I gotta say, for underneath my eyes, I am loving the way my under eyes look right now. So we're gonna say that that is a very good find so far. Do I powder this face? Do I not powder this face? Or do I just powder the areas that I'm going to be adding powder to? I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Loose Powder. Now this thing is fucking huge. I don't know why this packaging is so huge, but this part is so deep. Man, I could eat stuff out of this thing. All right, so we have this powder here. I am very scared of this. I am not a very big loose powder fan because when you're dry, the loose powder gets into the dry patches slash like loose pieces. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but I do need to powder the sides of my face because, again, we already established that this foundation is not transfer proof. Like, it's still coming off on my finger. So I'm going to take my huge ass powder brush and I'm just going to swirl it and I'm going to tap up. Whoa. Dummy. Why would I tap it in there? I'm going to tap it into the cap here. And now, moment of truth. Oh, wow. All right. I know you guys can't see this, but this is a very beautiful powder. For some reason, the only powder that I have found that does not change the color of my foundation or my base that I have before I put on the powder is my number 7 Perfect Light Press powder. That is the only powder I have found to this day that does not change the color of my foundation or oxidize it or anything like that. This one, as you can see, has definitely changed the color of my foundations, but not as much as the other powders. Whenever I use the ColourPop No Filter Loose Powder, that thing made my face change like almost 1 to 2 shades darker. This, it's like not even a shade darker. I'm just gonna go ahead and powder this area because I'm really liking this. So it's making me look mad as fuck, which I really don't like, but it's not making me look dry like at all. I do have a little bit of dryness here and I don't see any of it. Now the real test is right here around the chin. I always have to set my chin because no matter what, it is just a hot mess. Oh, this is the first loose powder I have found that does not make my dry patches look more dry after I apply it. I am fucking ecstatic right now. Can you tell? Wow. You do have to be a little bit careful with this powder because once you go a little too crazy, it does get very dry, very cakey, very fast. So I'm going to stop right here because I'm getting a little out of control with this powder. I am going to set the sides, but I'm going to leave my forehead. I like this powder. This is the first translucent powder that I am not seeing clinging to major dry patches or making the dry patches look more disgusting. Yo, what the hell is this? My lip be looking disgusting. disgusting, fool. All right, I got most of it off. I'm sorry y'all had to see that. I can't remember if I mentioned this, but this is $5.99. Next product is this Profusion Highlight and Contour 1 palette. I have not used any of Profusion's products yet, but I have heard really good things. When I saw the price for this, it blew my freaking mind. This was $4.99. I am just, whew. Now in this palette, you get 3 different shades down here. You get one for setting your face, and this one I believe is more of a contour shade for me. This is a little too dark. As you can see, I swatched it. Up here you get 3 different highlight shades to choose from. I'm really liking these two. I feel like this one might also be a little too orange for my skin tone. Let's go ahead and, yeah, that one's a little goldy. Now first I'm going to go in with this shade, and it is called Light Sculpt. I'm just going to take my duo fiber from Carity, and I'm going to go ahead and contour the face. Oh, I am liking this contour. This is very nice. It is blending beautifully, and not only that, but for some reason, a lot of bronzers or contours that I've tried, they take away the foundation or whatever is below. This is not taking away anything from my face. It is sitting on top nicely of the foundation. How can this be $5 freaking and you get a contour and a bunch of highlights in this palette? This is almost up there with my Smashbox contour palette. I have not been this excited for a contour in a long time. I love this. Like, this just makes me so happy. So now we're gonna go into blush before I get into any of these highlight colors. The blush that I have is this Essence Matte Touch Blush. This is $3.99, and I just really like the shade. This is in the shade Bury Me Up. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to the cheeks. Oh, okay, so this is a pigmented girl. I see you, I see you. Woo! Lightly tap, look at that. What is going on with these products? I am liking this. Look at that. I barely have to tap. Wow, we are getting into the good products now. That is absolutely beautiful. Oof. This is something that you might want to check out. I just love it. I barely dipped into this, and it's already just like, it's just so beautiful. Now, I do want to deepen the contour a little bit because I feel like I added maybe a little bit too much blush. Now it's time for highlight. I'm actually going to take both of these colors here. This one is called Impulse, and this one is Heartfelt. First, I'm just going to go in with Impulse and see what we get here. Okay, $5 palette. Wow. I feel like the camera is not picking it up, but in my mirror, girl, this is beautiful. So I will say this is a little tad glittery, but it's not like glitter that's falling off the face. Do you know what I mean? Some highlighters or like shimmer shades and eyeshadow palettes, whenever you like put it on your face or swatch them, you see the glitter just fall out of the pigment. The glitter is not falling out at all, and it's just sitting nicely on my face. It doesn't emphasize any texture that I'm noticing. Who would have thunk that a $5 palette would make you look so goddamn glowy? Whoa! I will say that the Impulse shade, the lighter shade in here, is a lot shinier than the pinkier highlight, but these layered together, look at that! This is my new best friend right here. I know I'm like getting overly excited, but I can't. $5, come on. Come on, you gotta be as excited as I am. I'm just gonna sit here and douse myself in this highlight because, oh, bitch. Okay, enough about that. We all know that I am just absolutely in love with this Profusion highlight and contour. It's just so hard for me to come by contour palettes that actually go with my skin tone that aren't too warm. I like more of a cool tone contour, and this is the one. This is the one. Now we're finally gonna go into the finishing touches. I'm gonna go ahead and add some mascara. I have the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara right here. This mascara retails for $10.99, which is a little bit more pricey in my opinion for a drugstore mascara, but who knows how it's gonna perform. Let's see what we got in this tube. Oh, this is my favorite type of brush. I love these. I do not like the stupid silicone applicators because I feel like those not only poke my eyeballs, but they just don't work very well. I have really short, stubby Asian lashes, and I just need length. So anything that adds length, I get really excited about. This mascara definitely lengthens the lashes, but it does kind of pull my curls down. A lot of mascaras do that with my lashes. So now I'm going to apply the mascara on the bottom lashes. I'm definitely loving how it looks on my bottom lashes, but I need to see see if it's going to like transfer to the bottom or, you know, smudge or flake off, because I do not like, nobody likes that kind of mascara. Next, we're gonna add some falsies. I'm really excited about this because these look absolutely beautiful in the packaging. This is the Lure. I can't say it, okay? English is really hard. This is the Lure Luxe Silk Effects Marquee false lashes. That, oh god, that took a lot out of me. I've never had Lure lashes before, so this is kind of exciting for me. This retails for $11.99. That's a little bit on the pricier side for what I like to pay for my lashes, but if they're good lashes, then hey, why not? These are the lashes and they look really gorgeous. Look at that. There's a lot of length going on there. There's a little bit of volume. I don't like anything that's too volumey, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply these off camera and I will be right back. I love these lashes. They're a little smidge uncomfortable, but I think it's because I didn't cut enough off the edges. So that's a personal problem that I just, you know, I kind of fucked that up. I like the band because they're a little bit more on the thicker side. I actually really like that because sometimes with the thin bands, if I'm not wearing eyeliner, you can see like the glue and stuff, and I just really don't like that. It's also kind of helped pull the eye look together because we had a lot of muddiness going on here on the corners. Because this kind of flares out at the end, you can't really see all the muddiness from the eyeshadows. I really love these lashes. Like I said before, I have never ever tried Lure lashes. I think that's how you say it. Lure. I'm not even gonna bother. I have never tried this brand before. These two are the most expensive products out of the entire thing here. So that's saying quite a lot because, I mean, these are $11.99. This was $10.99. Everything else is below $10 here. Now we're gonna go ahead with the lips. I have the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit High Shine Lipstick. I have no idea what a high shine lipstick means. I don't know if it's just like a shiny lipstick. Is it an actual gloss? I actually picked this up at Walgreens because the packaging is so beautiful. This is actually part of their Rebel Rose collection that recently launched. This retails for $4.99, which obviously Wet n Wild is always super affordable. I got this shade in Bud Romance and I'm just so excited to try this because I don't know what a high shine lipstick is. Look at the packaging. Look at the top of it. It's got little roses there and I love that it has a pink gold band around the top. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. Hopefully it looks good with my eye look that I'm wearing today. All right, so here is the lip. I did have a little trouble applying it because sometimes when you swipe the doe foot applicator, it kind of takes away a little bit of the pigment. I really like the feel of this. It's very, very comfortable. I just don't know what it is. Like, is it a gloss? It looks like a gloss to me. I don't think you would call this feathering. It's almost like sliding off my lips into like the corner of my mouth. So I'm not really sure, again, how I feel about this whole formula. I love this color, just not for how I'm feeling today. Like, you know, some days you're feeling a lip color and then other days you're like, I'll save that for a different time. This is definitely one of those lip colors because I feel like there's just too much going on with my eyes in this. I really like the way it feels on my lips. It's not too thick, it's not too goopy, it's not sticky at all whatsoever, and I love the high shine on this. Like, it is just really, really pretty. So let me go ahead and take this off and I will go ahead and put on a nude lip. I went ahead with the ColourPop Lippy Sticks in Aquarius. This is actually one of my favorite colors. I wouldn't say it's a nude, it's more like a peachy type of color. It is now 4:30. We are finally finished with the face. It took 2 hours to do the entire face, but I feel like this is something that I can leave the house in, and I don't know, I feel like I'm looking pretty good aside from the two, I don't know if you guys can see, aside from these two little creases there on my forehead, nothing else is creasing, which is amazing, and I am just loving everything about this look right now. I think our check-in time for foundation was like 2:30, so I will be wearing this for a little over 6 hours at least. I will see you guys in a couple of hours because I do have some errands to run and I have to do things around the house, but I will do a check-in with you guys and we'll see how everything's looking then. Whew, I am so out of breath. I've just been running around doing shit, so I actually didn't have time to do a check-in. It is now currently 8:25, so I have been wearing this around 6 hours. Well, I've been wearing the foundation for about 6 hours, and I'm ready to take it off because I just found out I need to get up really early tomorrow, so I have to get to bed. I'm gonna go ahead and get a close-up of my face using my phone. That way you guys can kind of see what is going on after 6 hours of foundation wear. The mascara has definitely smudged into my under eye area, so this is not a very good mascara. For my forehead, you can see I do have a crease here and a crease here, but I have been kind of patting it because the creases were very noticeable. Up here towards my hairline, it's very, very dry, so you can see that it does cling to dry patches quite a bit. For my nose area right here, I've been wiping with tissues because my nose has been a little runny today. But other than that, the cheek area looks really good. My highlight, blush, and my contour have stayed. The eyeshadow looks pretty decent as well. It hasn't creased on me, but I always thank my ColourPop No Filter Concealer for that. This area, I feel like there's a lot of separating going on, as you can see around my nose, on my upper lip. Down here, there's quite a bit of separating, and right here I have these weird like crease lines slash separating around my nose. Looks pretty cakey and weird. And so I think with this foundation, you definitely want to set it if you are like on the oilier side, because I'm a dry girl and still I am getting like these weird separating areas, and these are the parts that I didn't set on my face. So I feel like if you want this to last longer than 6 hours, you're definitely going to want to set it. I feel like everything on my face looks pretty decent except for the area that I didn't set. For dry skin, as you guys saw, I had some dryness going on and some dry patches, but it wasn't anything too crazy. So this foundation I would definitely wear again. As for just everything, I am absolutely in love. I think the only thing that really gave me a problem was the brown shade from the NYX Ultimate Edit palette. This is the Petite palette, and I have to say everything in this is really, really nice. It blends easily. It's very pigmented, easily buildable, except this one shade. I don't know what it was, but it just made everything so muddy and look like it wasn't really blended together. I definitely feel that the e.l.f. primer helps with hydration, kind of like the Touch of Silk Canvas primer, because that one feels very hydrating as well. Now, other than the mascara kind of smearing down onto my lower eye area, everything else I love. I am loving everything else that is on my face. This in particular, I am so in love with it. I can't believe that it's lasted this long, because most of the time whenever I do contour or blush or anything like that, even highlight, by around hour 5 or 6, like right now, it would mostly be like, you know, I wouldn't say smeared off or like wiped off, but it's kind of just like disappears. And I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that. I gotta say, I'm really, really happy with all the products that I used aside from the mascara, and I just can't wait to try them with all my other products. Now, I apologize because I know this video is gonna be long as balls, but I just really wanted you guys to see the whole process. If you guys made it this far, I really appreciate it, because I know some of my videos can get really lengthy, but again, I always try to share with you guys anything that I'm feeling or thinking, so you guys know how these products actually work and, you know, all the little details. So that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, please get a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you actually know when I post my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, or if you simply want to talk shit, leave it all in the comment section below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!